Have you ever stopped to wonder what your height really means? I'm not talking about reaching high shelves or finding the right size pants. I'm talking about something much deeper. What if I told you your stature carries a secret code about who you truly are? That every inch of your body tells a story about your soul, your hidden gifts, and even the challenges you came here to resolve in this life. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like to get access to more stories like this. It might sound strange at first, but think with me. Since childhood, have you ever noticed how people of different heights seem to carry completely distinct energies? How some tall individuals naturally assume leadership roles, while others, of smaller stature, possess an almost magical ability to perceive details that go unnoticed? This is no coincidence. Today you're going to discover that your height isn't just a genetic accident. It's a gateway to understanding deep aspects of your personality that you might have never considered. Prepare for a journey that will completely change the way you see yourself in the mirror. Carl Gustav Jung, one of the greatest psychologists in human history, revolutionized our understanding of the human mind when he introduced the concept of archetypes, universal patterns that inhabit the collective unconscious of all humanity. But what few people know is that Jung also explored how physical characteristics can serve as symbolic manifestations of these archetypes. Jung wasn't interested in creating stereotypes or limitations. On the contrary, he sought to understand how every aspect of the human being, including our physical constitution, can serve as a symbolic language that connects us with universal psychic forces. He believed that our body is a map of our soul, and every physical characteristic carries information about our purpose and our inner journey. Height, specifically, has always fascinated Jungian psychologists because it directly influences how we relate to the world and how the world relates to us. It's not superstition, it's not determinism, it's symbolic psychology based on decades of clinical observation and anthropological studies. When we understand the archetypes related to our stature, we unlock hidden aspects of our personality that can explain behavioral patterns, natural talents, and even internal conflicts we've carried for years. But why does this really matter in your practical life? Imagine discovering that your tendency to always want to protect others isn't just your way, but rather the manifestation of a powerful archetype that's asking to be recognized and consciously developed. Or realizing that your natural ease in mediating conflicts and finding balance points isn't a coincidence, but the reflection of a deep psychic pattern you carry. When you understand the archetype related to your height, several pieces of your personality puzzle start to fit together. That feeling of, why do I always react like this, or why do people always come to me for this type of situation, finally makes sense. You stop judging yourself for characteristics that seem strange and start recognizing them as unique gifts. In your professional life, this could mean finally understanding your natural place in work teams. In relationships, it can explain why you attract certain types of people or why certain dynamics repeat. In your journey of self-knowledge, it represents a powerful tool to accept aspects of yourself that you might have resisted for years. It's like gaining an instruction manual about your own nature, a manual that was always there, written in the symbolic language of your body. But what exactly are these archetypes we're talking about so much? Imagine there's a universal library, a repository of behavioral and energetic patterns that transcends cultures, eras, and geographies. These patterns, the archetypes, are like psychic seeds that we all carry, regardless of where we were born or how we were raised. Jung discovered that certain patterns repeat in all mythologies, in all fairy tales, in all cultures of the world. The courageous hero, the wise mentor, the compassionate healer, the protective guardian, these figures appear universally because they represent fundamental aspects of the human experience. They are not external concepts to us. They are living forces within our own psyche. When we talk about archetypes related to height, we're exploring how these universal forces manifest through our physical constitution. It's as if our body were a musical instrument, and each physical characteristic determined what kind of music our soul came to play in this world. A tall tree develops deep roots to sustain itself. There's a natural wisdom in this proportion that is also reflected in human archetypal patterns. Archetypes are not prisons or fixed labels. They are lenses through which we can understand our natural tendencies, our innate talents, and also our growth points. Each person carries multiple archetypes, and they can manifest in different ways throughout life. Height simply offers us an initial key to access this deep symbolic language that resides within each of us. Now we come to the heart of our journey. There are 4 main archetypes that manifest through the symbolic language of height, each carrying unique gifts and specific challenges. Prepare to recognize deep aspects of yourself that may never have been named before. The first is the guardian, manifested in people of above average height. If you recognize yourself in this group, you carry within you the archetype of the natural protector. Guardians have a presence that automatically inspires trust. They are the ones people look to in times of crisis, expecting direction and security. Your natural gift is the ability to see the big picture, literally and symbolically. You have an ease in taking on responsibilities and creating safe spaces for others to grow. But be careful. The constant weight of responsibility can become a burden if not consciously balanced. The second archetype is the messenger, present in people of average height. You are the bridges between worlds, the natural translators of human experience. Messengers have a unique ability to move between different groups, understand multiple perspectives, and communicate complex ideas in an accessible way. Your gift lies in versatility and adaptability. You are the natural diplomats, the ones who can find common ground where others see only differences. The third is the silent guardian, manifested in people of below average height. Don't be fooled by the term silent. You carry immense power. Silent guardians have an extraordinary capacity for perception. You see details, nuances, and subtleties that go unnoticed by others. Your gift lies in the depth of observation and the ability to nurture and heal through attentive presence. You are the guardians of intimate spaces, those who protect what is delicate and precious. Finally, we have the balancer, the intermediate archetype that can manifest at any height, but is especially strong in those who transition between patterns. Balancers are masters of synthesis. You have the unique ability to integrate seemingly contradictory aspects and find harmony in chaos. Your gift lies in the wisdom born from the experience of multiple perspectives, but it wouldn't be honest to only talk about the gifts without addressing the challenges. Each archetype carries its own shadow, undeveloped or unbalanced aspects that can manifest as destructive patterns if not consciously integrated. Guardians frequently face the weight of the savior complex. You might feel obligated to solve all problems around you, forgetting your own needs. Emotional overload is real. How many times have you felt exhausted from taking on responsibilities that weren't yours? The guardian's shadow is the tendency towards excessive control and difficulty showing vulnerability. You can develop a deep fear of disappointing others, creating constant internal pressure to be perfect. Messengers face the dilemma of dispersion. Your ability to move between different worlds can generate a feeling of not completely belonging anywhere. You might develop anxiety related to the fear of making definitive decisions, always seeing multiple sides of every situation. The messenger's shadow includes the tendency towards emotional superficiality. You might become so skilled at mediating external conflicts that you avoid facing your own internal conflicts. Silent guardians frequently struggle with feelings of invisibility or inadequacy. A society that values imposing physical presence can make you question your own worth. You might develop patterns of self-sabotage or a tendency towards excessive isolation. The shadow includes the possibility of becoming passive observers of your own life, accumulating resentments for not feeling truly seen or valued. Balancers face the challenge of chronic indecision. Your ability to see multiple perspectives can paralyze you when decisions need to be made. You might develop a tendency to avoid necessary confrontations, maintaining a false harmony that prevents real growth. The balancer's shadow includes the possibility of losing your own identity in the constant attempt to please and harmonize. Let me tell you some stories that will make these archetypes more vivid and recognizable in your own experience. Marina was always the tallest in her class. Since childhood, Teachers chose her as group leader, colleagues came to her when they needed help, and she naturally assumed the role of older sister, even with people her own age. At 30, Marina realized she was exhausted. She was a manager at a company, took care of her elderly parents, financially helped 2 siblings, and still found time to be an emotional counselor for a wide circle of friends. The day she finally said no to a request for help was the day she began to understand her guardian archetype and the need to set healthy boundaries. Roberto, at 5'9", always felt comfortable in any environment. At school, he was friends with both the nerds and the athletes. At work, he naturally moved between different departments, often being called upon to mediate conflicts or translate technical demands into accessible language. But Roberto sometimes feels lost about who he really is when he's not being useful to others. His journey of self-knowledge involved recognizing his messenger archetype and learning to value his own company. Anna, at 5.2, always noticed details that others ignored. She noticed when someone was sad, even when they smiled, picked up on tensions in the environment before conflicts erupted, and had a natural ability to make others feel truly heard. But Anna struggled with feelings of inadequacy in corporate environments, where she felt her voice didn't carry the same weight. When she understood her silent guardian archetype, she stopped trying to take up more space and began to value her unique and transformative presence. Carlos always felt in between. Neither too tall nor too short, he developed a natural ability to understand different viewpoints and find solutions that worked for everyone. But this same ability sometimes paralyzed him. He could spend hours analyzing a simple decision because he could see consequences that others didn't perceive. Recognizing himself as a balancer helped Carlos transform his indecision into conscious wisdom. Now that you know the archetypes and their shadows, I need to tell you something fundamental. These archetypes are not prisons. They are not rigid boxes where you need to fit perfectly. They are mirrors. Mirrors that reflect potentials that already exist within you, waiting to be recognized and consciously developed. You can be a guardian who also possesses the sensitivity of a silent guardian. You can be a messenger who, at certain moments in life, needs to access the strength of the balancer. Archetypes are fluid, dynamic, and you have the power to consciously navigate between them as life situations demand. The most important thing is to understand that there is no better or worse archetype. Society may try to convince us that certain characteristics are more valuable than others, but that's just external noise. Your height, whatever it may be, carries a unique wisdom. You don't need to strive to be different from who you are. You need to strive to be more fully who you already are. If you are a guardian, stop apologizing for taking up space. Your presence is a gift to the world, and people need the security and protection you naturally offer. But remember, you also deserve to be cared for. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, ask for help when needed, and understand that showing your fragilities doesn't diminish your strength. In fact, it amplifies it. If you are a messenger, celebrate your ability to move between different worlds. On an increasingly polarized planet, your ability to find points of connection is revolutionary. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're indecisive or superficial. Your depth lies precisely in your ability to understand multiple layers of the human experience. If you are a silent guardian, recognize the immense power that resides in your attentive presence. The world doesn't need more people speaking loudly. It needs more people who truly know how to listen and observe. Your ability to perceive nuances and details is a superpower in a world that is speeding up more and more. Don't try to become physically bigger. Become bigger in presence, in depth, in wisdom. If you are a balancer, honor your capacity for synthesis and harmony. We live in times of extremes, and your natural ability to find balance is exactly what the world needs. Don't see your indecision as weakness. See it as wisdom that considers multiple perspectives before acting. Remember, you chose this height, this body, this way of being in the world for a deep reason that perhaps your conscious mind still doesn't fully understand, but that your soul knows perfectly. Trust the process. Trust the wisdom that resides in every cell of your being. Now I want you to take a moment and connect deeply with yourself. Close your eyes for a few seconds if you can. Take a deep breath and tell me, which of these archetypes resonated most strongly with your soul? Don't think with your head, feel with your heart. Which description made your chest vibrate with that recognition of "this is me"? More importantly, how does this understanding change the way you see yourself? What patterns in your life now make more sense? What characteristics of yours can you stop judging and start celebrating? I want you to share your discovery in the comments. You don't need to give intimate details, but tell us which archetype you recognized in yourself and a small reflection on how that impacts your self-understanding. When you share your experience, you not only connect more deeply with the knowledge, you also offer a gift to other people who might recognize themselves in your story. And if you feel touched by more than one archetype, that is absolutely normal and powerful. Share that combination too. Tell us how you perceive this dance between different archetypal aspects within you. Also, look around you, at the people in your family, at your work, in your social circle. Now that you know this symbolic language, can you recognize the archetypes in action? This will completely transform the way you see and relate to people. You will start to see the unique gifts that each person carries instead of focusing only on superficial differences. But it doesn't stop there. I want you to do a powerful exercise. Over the next few days, observe how your archetype manifests in different situations. When you're at work, how does it appear? And in relationships, and in moments of stress or joy. Start to develop an active awareness of how these archetypal forces operate in your practical life. If you like this content, if it brought valuable insights to your journey of self-knowledge, show it. Leave your like, share with people you know will benefit from this understanding, and subscribe to the channel to continue this journey of inner discovery with us. Because you see, this is just the beginning. When you understand the archetypes related to your height, you gain a powerful key to decipher other symbolic layers of your existence. And I'm here to accompany you on this journey of deep self-discovery. As we come to the end of this journey of discovery, I want you to carry a fundamental truth. Whatever your physical stature, your true size is measured by the depth of your authenticity, by the courage to be who you truly are, and by the willingness to honor the unique gifts you brought into this world. You are not just a body walking through life. You are a powerful soul who chose this specific form of existence to fulfill a unique purpose. Your height is not a genetic accident. It's a symbolic language, a gateway to understanding deep aspects of your nature that transcend the physical. Today, you discovered that you carry within you archetypal forces that connect you with universal patterns of human experience. You learned that your characteristics, which perhaps you judged or wished to change, are actually manifestations of a deeper wisdom. You understood that your challenges are not flaws to be corrected, but shadows to be consciously integrated. But this is just one facet of the knowledge that symbolic psychology can offer. In the next videos, we're going to dive even deeper into this fascinating universe. We're going to explore how other physical aspects, the color of your eyes, the shape of your hands, even your way of walking, carry symbolic codes about your personality and your life purpose. We're going to discover how different archetypal combinations create unique relationship patterns, how you can use this knowledge to improve your communication and your emotional bonds. We're going to explore how archetypes manifest in different phases of life and how you can consciously navigate these transformations. And more. We're going to learn practical techniques to harmoniously integrate the different archetypal aspects within you, creating a more balanced personality and a life more aligned with your true nature. The journey of self-knowledge has no end. It only deepens, becomes richer, more transformative. And you don't have to walk alone. This community we're building here is a safe space to explore, question, discover, and grow together. So stay with us. Subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and prepare to continue unraveling the fascinating mysteries that reside within you. Because you are much more complex, powerful, and extraordinary than you imagine. Your height tells a story. Your entire body is a book of wisdom waiting to be read. And we're here to help you decipher every page of this incredible narrative that is your unique existence in this world. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like to get access to more stories like this. Until the next video, remember, you are exactly the size you need to be to fulfill the purpose you came to accomplish. Honor that, celebrate that, and allow that truth to completely transform the way you inhabit your own life.